It is currently 1:10 at night. I am tired as hell, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. Now, the other day, you've probably seen on my Twitter that I am trying my best to find time to record, but unfortunately, between final exams coming up and all this other BS, I just can't find time to record. But I finally found time to record, and I am just tired as hell. I want to go to bed, but I'm going to do this video anyways. Why? Because I'm a good person. So anyways, guys, what's up? Hitman X Xenolar. This is Mardu Vampire's rough draft deck idea. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. I really want to fix this deck. I don't know what I was thinking when I built most of this deck, but here we go. Let's begin this adventure together. So basically, this deck is a leech deck. You want to leech off your opponent with lifelinkers, stuff like Drana's Emissary, Falkenrath Noble, Cliffhaven Vampire. Very, very, very basic, generalized idea around this deck is to leech off your opponent and burn them out. Vampire Cutthroat, again, another way to just beat your opponent down with a lifelinker. And it's a 1/1 for 1 with Skulk and Lifelink. That's just overpowered. Voldaren Pariah, pretty overpowered. You can sack 3 worthless, good-for-nothing creatures, and then force your opponent to sack 3 good-for-nothing creatures, or 3 overpowered creatures, depending on how many creatures they have. Mana base, get your fetches, your shocks, Mana Confluence. Actually a pretty decent card. You don't really need to worry about the paying 1 life because you're going to be leeching your opponent anyways. And Nomad Outpost, that might actually get replaced with a Mana Confluence or possibly another Swamp because the deck is very black heavy. But Nomad Outpost is going to stay there for now, I guess. Planeswalkers, Johnny, basically -2 to Helix to leech off your opponent, or if you need to play Somewhat Control, you can just start plussing right away. Chandra Nalar, combine her with Soren Markov, just -3 ult, your opponent should be dead unless they do something. Favorite Planeswalker, so of course, there's red in the deck, she has to be in it somehow. Liliana, basically with a demonic 2 force people discard their cards, keep them from playing Magic somewhat. Soren Markov +2, again -3 to combine with Chandra's ult to end the game, and the -7. In the red-black version of the deck that I have, the ult ends the game if Chandra doesn't. So that's usually fun. Soren Grim Nemesis. Basically, with him, I'd imagine that the best strategy is plus like crazy, then -X like crazy, and then plus like crazy, and then ult. So you can get the maximum number of vampire tokens. Whoops, don't scroll on too much. Instants, enchantments, Palm. Basically keep your opponent from, slamming huge creatures like Goyf at you, or I don't know, like an Ulamog maybe or something like that. Bolt and Helix, burn your opponent, or removal and Helix to gain life. Unmake, a bit more versatile than Path to Exile, I think, because you can either pay 3 white or 3 black, and you don't have to give your creature that basic land. It's just straight up exile the creature, so it helps a lot better than Path to Exile. That's how I personally feel, at least. Vampiric Fury, give all your creatures +2 in first strike, because all your creatures are vampires anyways, duh, exception of the god. But hey, +2 in first strike, hell, you might as well. Exquisite Blood, Sanguine Bond, bleach your opponent, gain a bunch of life with those enchantments, so it usually helps. Oath of Chandra, removal, and then burn your opponent out because your planeswalker's entering. And Rage Reflection, basically a way to get aggressive later in the game, or early in the game if you can get it down turn 6, which is actually pretty hilarious. Blade of the Blood Chief, basically combine it with Falcon Wrath Noble. Alright, you're going to lose 1, I'm going to gain 1, and put 2 on 1 counters on the creatures if you don't mind. You don't? Okay, thank you. So basically, pretty sweet. And sideboard, basically I use the sideboard to basically work the deck around a mechanic called Madness. So what I did was I built a sideboard around Madness with cards such as like Arms of the Vein, Fiery Temper, Distemper of the Blood, Falcon Wrath Gorger, Olivia Mobilized for War, Liliana of the Veil, all great for discarding and triggering Madness and all that good stuff. Madness is a mechanic I don't mind. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But the Madness strategy, throwing it into this deck, is probably a bit more efficient if you're playing against something that's going to kill you quicker. So that's why it's there. And of course, Chandra, plus for the mana ramp or the burn or creature removal. So if you need to get more earlier removal, throw in Torch of Defiance, because why not? Sideboard Rage Reflection in case you're running into something like Enchantment Hate or just pure hate altogether. Dash Hopes in case you need to put some counter spells in. Dash Hopes is there. Another God card, give all your creatures Menace and prevent all damage dealt to attacking creatures you control. So basically, it's your creatures have Menace, now they have Double Strike, and they can't take damage since we're all attacking. So basically, they get indestructible, sort of, Double Strike, and Menace. Like, you basically have won if you can just throw like a bunch of huge creatures like Voldaren Pariah out and stuff like that. Anyways, that's basically the deck, guys. I'm super tired. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I just got through that whole thing. If you have any suggestions, hit me up. And as always, if you have a deck list you want me to showcase on my channel, hit me up with the DMs. Just go ahead and start sliding through my DMs on Twitter. And I'll most likely see your message. I'm on there like 3 or 4 times every hour. And I prefer that you use Mana Stack, but if you don't use Mana Stack and you use some other website, or you just type in a deck list and send it to me, I'll figure a way around that. It's all good. Anyways, guys, that's it. Peace out, and remember, Chandra Nolar's life.